Hi there. This is an update on the global network of the Light of Genesis. You will recall that the global network of the Light of Genesis is the project of positioning chambers of eternal light all around the world to assemble this network of light. It was divided into three different phases, phase 1, 2, and 3. Phase 1 was positioning 1,000 chambers of eternal light all around the world, and that was completed some time ago. Phase 2 is where we are at right now, and it is positioning 1,000 chambers of eternal light in specific areas of negativity all around the world. Phase 3 will be to complete the construction of this global network with 5,000 chambers of eternal light going all around the world. We are in Phase 2, as I mentioned. Phase 2 involves 1,000 chambers of eternal light being positioned in locations of great negativity. Now, 36 of those chambers, of those 1,000 chambers of eternal light, were positioned in North America and South America early on. That left us with 964 chambers of eternal light that needed to go in other locations around the world. Those locations have been divided into 5 beams of light emanating from the seed of eternal light for all mankind in Hawaii. Those beams encompassed, for one beam it was Africa, for one beam it was Asia, but not including China or Japan. China got its own beam, as did Japan, and then the 5th beam covered Europe. All of these locations were the locations where the 964 chambers of eternal light needed to be positioned. Of those 964 chambers of eternal light, we have positioned 774, leaving us with 190 yet to be positioned. Let's take a look at the specific beams. The Africa beam required 88 chambers of eternal light. 45 chambers have been positioned, and of the remaining 43 needing to be placed in Africa, all 43 of those chambers of eternal light are actually in Africa, but they are waiting to be buried or placed. That is taking place in the coming weeks and months. When that happens, this will complete the Africa pathway. For Asia, it required 271 chambers of eternal light. We have positioned 143, leaving 128 to be positioned. There were 13 chambers of eternal light that were shipped to Israel just recently. Those are going to be positioned within the next 2 weeks. And that is part of the 143 that have been positioned. For China, it required 387 chambers of eternal light. All 387 have been positioned, so the China beam has been completed. For Japan, it required 46 chambers of eternal light. 27 have been placed, leaving 19 yet to be placed. Of the 27 that have been placed, 3 chambers have actually just recently been placed in Japan. For Europe, it required 172 chambers. All 172 chambers have been positioned, but we continue to get people donating chambers for Europe. 3 chambers are just now being shipped out to England. They will be positioned near London sometime in the next couple of weeks. So that means that once the 43 chambers for Africa that are there already, waiting to be positioned, once those have been buried or positioned, then the Africa beam will have been completed, the China beam will have been completed, the Europe beam will have been completed. Japan, that beam will only need 19 more chambers of eternal light for it to be completed, and then we focus on Asia, which has only 128 remaining chambers. We are coming close to completing phase 2 of the global network of the Light of Genesis, and we thank you for all of your help in donating the chambers of eternal light so that they can go out and get placed, and also in finding homes for the chambers of eternal light in these faraway places all around the world. Thanks for everything. We will keep you updated. on the global network of the Light of Genesis.